Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. I am Vaishali Kikan and we are discussing the EMFT. Today in this video, we are going to talk about the next concept of the magnetostatics, that is the Ampere's circuital law. In the electrostatics, we had studied the Gauss's law, and the equivalent of the Gauss's law in the magnetostatics is the Ampere's circuital law. So in this video, we are going to introduce the Ampere's circuital law, then we are going to see how it is related to the Gauss's law in the electrostatics, and after that we are going to see its integral and the differential form. So this is how we are going to conclude the session. So first of all, let's start with the introduction to the Ampere's circuital law. So what is the Ampere's circuital law? It is the equivalent of the Gauss's law. What was the Gauss's law? According to the Gauss's law, integration of E over the given surface E dot ds will be equal to q enclosed upon epsilon naught, that we know. So now here instead of E I will be putting the B, right? So integration over of the B over the dl. Now here I will be taking the Amperian path, there I was taking the Gaussian surface, because here I was taking the integration over the surface, I was constructing the Gaussian surface. Here I have the integration over the dl, so I will be having the closed Amperian path, which will be equal to the mu naught times the current enclosed by the Amperian path. So I will be making an Amperian path and I will be finding out the circulation of the magnetic flux around that closed path. It will be equal to mu naught times the current enclosed by that path. So the circulation of the magnetic flux density in free space is proportional to the total current through the surface bounding the path over which the circulation is computed, right? So I can find out what is the current enclosed and I can integrate over the given C for dl, and if the B is unknown, mu naught is a constant, I will know, right? It would be given in the question, so easily I can compute the B. So similarly, I was using the Gauss's law to find out the electric field intensity. I was finding out the E with the help of this formula, right? We took a lot of cases and we found out the E with the help of the Gauss's law. Q enclosed we knew, and with the help of this formula we found out E with a very simple manner. Otherwise we had the bulky formula for E. Similarly here we can find out B from the Biot-Savart's law as well, but to make the calculation simpler we will be using the Ampere's circuital law, right? So this is the significance of the Ampere's circuital law, right? So here you can see this is the ds and here we have the surface, the total surface is this, and now we have taken a small surface ds. So the ds is taken in the direction which is defined by the right hand thumb rule applied to dl, right? So I will be applying the right hand thumb rule on the dl, and this is how we will be finding out the direction of the ds, right? And if I have the current enclosed, how I can represent the current enclosed? Why I am considering the surface? Because the current enclosed can be represented with the surface current density, right? So here if I have the surface, I can represent the I enclosed as the integration over S J dot ds, right? I hope you remember I talked about the current density and its different types in the previous video, right? So most commonly used current density was the volume current density, right? Which was the current density for a given surface area. So current per unit area is the volume current density. So if I integrate the current density over the given area, I will be getting the current, right? So this is the equation of I enclosed. I can put this equation over here. Now from the Coulomb's law, I was finding out the Gauss's law, which was used for finding out the electric field for the symmetric charge distribution. So the condition was that I had the symmetric charge distribution. I was making the Gaussian surface for the symmetric charge distribution only, right? Here in the Ampere's law of force, I have computed the Ampere's circuital law to find out the B, the magnetic flux density, with a simple manner, but again the condition would be there. The magnetostatic field from the symmetric current distribution can be computed with the help of the Ampere's circuital law. If the symmetric current distribution is not there, we cannot compute the magnetostatic field, right? So now coming to the applications. What are the applications of the Ampere's circuital law? We will see the integral form, right? We have already seen the integral form. According to the integral form, integration over the C B dot dl is equal to mu naught I enclosed. So now here we will be knowing what is the current enclosed. I can compute the B with a very simple manner. So this is the equation for unknown magnetic flux density resulting from a given current distribution. If I know what is the current distribution, I can find out the B, which is unknown, right? So this is the integral form. Solution to the integral equation must be obtained using the various numerical techniques. You can find out the integration with the help of numerical technique. Then you can divide this integration over C dl to mu naught I enclosed, and this is how you can find out the B, right? After that, we will be considering some symmetric current distribution, and when we have the symmetric current distribution, it is going to give me the closed form solution to Ampere's law. And if I am not having the symmetric current distribution, then I cannot find out the closed form solution. So closed form solution is dependent upon the ability to construct a suitable Amperian path. What is the Amperian path? Like the way we had the Gaussian surface in the Gauss's form or Gauss's law, here we have the Amperian path. So Amperian path is the closed contour path to which magnetic flux density is tangential, right? So the only condition is that the magnetic flux density will be tangential to this Amperian path. I will be making this Amperian path in surrounding to the given current element in such a manner that the magnetic field will be tangential to this path and equal to a constant value, right? So it will not vary upon this path as well. So magnetic field has to remain constant over the given Amperian path. So now coming to the differential form, how we can compute the differential form. So the magnetic field is conservative outside the region where current is flowing. So now here this is the condition that we are following to find out the differential form. So integration over the C B dot dl is equal to mu naught I enclosed. This is the formula of Ampere's circuital law. Now how I can represent the I enclosed? I enclosed can be represented as integration of J over ds, right? So mu naught integration over as J ds, right? So this is how I can represent the mu naught I, right? So integration over B dl is represented as integration of mu naught J ds, right? So now here integration of B dl, because here we have the integration in the length, here we have the integration over the surface. So I have to equate both of them. Now I will be using the Stokes theorem. According to the Stokes theorem, if we have the integration over the line, I can convert it into the integration over the surface, but I have to take the curl of the B. So now integration of B dot dl will be equal to the surface integration of curl of B over the surface. So integration, contour integration of B dot dl will be equal to surface integration of del cross B ds, right? So here instead of integration of B dl, I can represent surface integration of del cross B ds. Surface integration of del cross B ds will be represented as mu naught integration of J ds, right? So here I took the mu naught inside the integration because it's a constant, I can take it inside. So now here you can see integration over the surface del cross B ds is equal to integration over the surface mu naught J ds. So here I can equate del cross B directly to the mu naught J. So del cross B is equal to mu naught J. Now whenever I don't have isolated magnetic charge, so at that time we have the second differential form del dot B is equal to 0. So we are going to talk about this equation in the next video as well. So here as of now you can understand from the Ampere's circuital law we have computed the differential form of del cross B is equal to mu naught J, right? Or we can represent this in the terms of H as well. So del cross H will be equal to J. So this is the second form of the Ampere's circuital law differential equation. So del cross H is equal to J. This is the second form, right? And the next differential equation for the magnetostatic is del dot B is equal to 0, which is representing that there is no isolated charge, and let's talk about it in detail in the next video. So I hope you will be joining me soon in the next video, and I hope you like this session. If you have any doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment and I will be trying to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. I hope you like this session. If you like it, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and also give me your feedback. Thank you so much.